Welcome to Swala Nyeti, the law podcast that pairs a layman and a lawyer to answer your legal questions of the day. Swala Nyeti is sponsored by the law firm of Kigwata and Company Advocates and is intended for educational purposes only.
Welcome to Swala Nyeti. This is Recap 2. I am the lawyer, aka Wakili Harry Karanja.
And I am the layman, Ashao Patrick. And we are doing a recap on divorce. Are you ready, Wakili?
I am ready. Let's go.
Question number 1. Someone went through a divorce and their husband is required by the court to send them, how do they call it? Like a monthly payment.
Maintenance, yes.
Maintenance.
Spousal maintenance.
Spousal maintenance.
Yes.
And they're not doing it. What can they do?
Now, if someone is not paying spousal maintenance, you can, of course, go to court and let the courts know that the orders are being disobeyed. And you can get a notice to show cause against that spouse why they should not be put in civil jail.
Oh, so they can be jailed?
Yes, if you are failing to obey a court order for a civil claim, then the court can order you to be jailed for a maximum period of 6 months.
Okay, 6 months. Then you come out and you continue paying.
Or you continue not paying. And
you go back and you go back to prison.
And then you have to get another notice show cause against that spouse.
Yeah, but I presume that the person can pay, so I don't think they want to go to to jail.
Yeah,
so
it's always best to obey court orders.
Okay. Question number 2. It's from a lady. She says she got married, normal sweetheart wedding, and then a few years down the line, many years, maybe 15 or so.
Yes.
The husband, for lack of a better word, joins a cult.
Okay.
When he's in a religious movement where he used to come home and he think the cult says that there's a way, the movement says that there's a way women should dress. So no trousers, no, jewelry, bands, cuts, whatever. So is this a ground for divorce?
Okay, so we mentioned that there are usually 5 grounds for divorce when it comes to civil and Christian marriages, and then a few extra when it comes to Hindu marriages and Islamic marriages. But the normal 5, as we mentioned, would be 1, adultery, 2, desertion, 3, cruelty, 4, exceptional depravity, and 5, irretrievable breakdown. So it sounds that might be able to fit under cruelty because cruelty is both physical and mental.
Okay. So yeah, they can use that as one of the bases.
It's possible. Or irretrievable breakdown.
Okay. These ones are quick ones, Wakili. Matrimonial property.
Yes.
The question is, you're not divorced.
Okay.
But the parties are separated. During this separation,
yes,
one or both acquire property.
Okay.
Is this property during the matrimonial property case, the property acquired during a separation, is it considered as one of the properties that is going to be divided?
Okay, so the property which is divided in the event of a divorce is what is known as matrimonial property. And matrimonial property includes either A, property which was a matrimonial home, B, property which was jointly acquired during the subsistence of the marriage, or might also include property where although one party purchased it, another party contributed to its improvement or development.
Okay. So you buy a piece of land, another one builds.
Something like that, yes.
Okay.
Now, if it doesn't fall in any of these, then it's unlikely to be considered matrimonial property. However, if someone is worried whether or not it will be considered matrimonial property, then they can go to court, even without a divorce petition, and request the court for a declaration of their rights towards that property.
Wow. And let me just throw some spanner in the works. The person is separated. We are separated.
Mm-hmm.
That person, B,
yes,
is cohabiting.
Yes.
because I don't think they can get married if you have not divorced.
Mm-hmm.
And they are acquiring property
Okay.
on that other side.
Yes.
Am I entitled to that property?
Like I said, the property that you're entitled to is property which you have jointly acquired during the subsistence of your marriage.
Okay.
You can lay claim to that property, but usually that's what the courts will use to determine whether the property is matrimonial property. And of course, they will also look at the contribution which was made. If there was no contribution made, whether monetary or non-monetary, it's unlikely for it to be considered matrimonial property.
Okay. Thank you very much, Wakilin. Question number 4, collusion. Please just explain again why or what cannot happen or can happen under divorce. Because you said there cannot be divorce by collusion.
Correct. And what we said is that we specified under which grounds you can bring a petition for divorce. Now, if none of these grounds exist and the parties want to get divorced and they collude in that they agree and say, you know what, let's go to court and say one of us committed adultery,
yes,
then this is what is referred to as collusion.
Mm-hmm.
And in Kenyan law, you are not allowed to petition the court for divorce if it is done in collusion. Now, this is a statement you have to swear in your affidavit. So, meaning that if you say there was no collusion and there was collusion, then of course you're opening yourself up to a charge of perjury.
And that is a criminal offense.
It is.
Okay. Kindly explain the difference between void and voidable marriages.
So these are marriages which are defined under law. And a void marriage is one which is as if no union took place. So it's
never existed.
Exactly. Whereas a voidable one is one which can be cancelled. It can be left to remain as a marriage, or it can be cancelled. So
cancelled means it can become void.
Exactly.
Avoidable marriage is a marriage that can become void.
It can be. You're absolutely right. And when it comes to void marriages, just to give you some examples, an example of a void marriage is one where one of the parties is a child, is under the age of 18 years. That's a void marriage. Or if one of the parties was forced.
Yes.
Or if one of the parties...
fraudulent purposes, we said.
Yes, if they did it for fraudulent purposes. All those are examples of void marriages. Whereas a voidable marriage can be one whereby one of the parties, when they're entering the marriage, was not able to consummate the marriage. That could be a voidable marriage. Another one could be whereby the marriage has not been registered. That also could be a voidable marriage.
It's good you say registered because the next question is of registration. So first, explain. The next question is registration of traditional marriages, but explain where registration could make a marriage voidable. So, or it's part of this traditional marriage. If a traditional marriage is not registered, is it a voidable marriage?
Exactly. So what we have in this new marriage law are the instances when a marriage is recognized. And the law has given 5 types of marriages which can be registered. If a marriage is not registered under one of those 5 schemes, and we said these 5 schemes are civil, Christian, Hindu, Muslim, or traditional. If it's not registered under any of those, then it is a voidable marriage. So this means that if people have been living as a come-we-stay union or some other form of cohabitation, or just attended a traditional ceremony, it is good for them to formalize their union through registration. Otherwise, the marriage could be voidable.
Okay. We do not have any more questions, Wakili. You have passed the test.
Well, it seems divorce wasn't as bad as we thought then.
Either that or we did a very good job and people didn't have more questions.
All right, but let them keep sending them in if we have any more questions in that area of divorce. It's not the happiest of topics to discuss, but
unfortunately,
we're always happy to make the law a bit clearer to you.
We were toying with the idea of doing a good one, like topics on marriage, but unfortunately,
More
Unless
people are
I-
interested in divorce.
Yeah, unless we invite a marriage counselor.
And we agreed we're not.
Yeah, we are neither. And it's not something that falls within the layman and lawyer scope of work, it seems. So, in any case, thank you very much, Wakili.
My
And
pleasure.
looking forward to the next recap. And next week's recap is on employment. That one has many questions. They have been flowing in and out. So I hope you are looking forward to that.
Well, I'm always happy to help.
Okay, then. And thank you very much for everyone who's been listening to us. It's been a pleasure serving you. And from me and on behalf of Swala Nyeti, have a lovely weekend. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
You have been listening to Swala Nyeti. Special thanks to our layman, Gashal Patrick, and our lawyer, Harry Karanja. If you have a legal question that you want answered, send us a WhatsApp message on 0708 111 222 or email us at admin@swalanyeti.org. You can find downloads to all our podcast episodes on our website www.swalanyeti.org.